On our last trip to the Great Sand Dunes, we broke out our IceMule Pro Cooler, the 20-liter size, to test it out on a pretty hot day. We particularly enjoyed the padded, ventilated back padding between the straps and the cooler itself. It felt very comfortable on both of our backs. The cooler itself is made up of what they call muleskin ET and muleskin EV, which creates this shell that is completely waterproof, and it helps insulate the food or drinks that you have inside. In addition to that, there's also an insulating foam layer in between, plus there's a valve that allows air to be added in, which increases the insulation value of the cooler. We packed ice into the cooler in the morning from our hotel, and when we got out ready to hike for lunch, we decided to pack everything else in there. It even had enough room to put in our plates and napkins and all the other things that we would need. Once you pack in your supplies, it's just as simple as rolling down the top. We love the fact that there's no zippers because, if you start to stuff some cans and things in there, it's really gonna pull on the closure. So not having a zipper and instead the rolling down style with the clip is way superior. On this day, it was only about 65 degrees outside, but we were at about 8,000 feet elevation, and so the sun was quite warm. Tom really enjoyed carrying the cooler because it wasn't very heavy and it felt just like another backpack that he would normally be wearing. So we took off and headed out towards the creek and the sand dunes in order to find a great place to have some lunch. One of the best parts about this cooler is that it does strap on your back and you don't need to hang on to it, which made it really nice for us to walk along with our boys. Tom was still able to hold our son's hand as well as play with him a little, even while he had the cooler. After a walk of about 20 minutes or so in the hot sun, we stopped for lunch, and you can see right here that the ice stayed solid. We ate our lunch, we did a little science experiment with a magnet, and we had a great time and a nice cold lunch thanks to the IceMule Cooler. The pack itself rides pretty well on your back, and it's only about 5 pounds without the food and snacks inside. We had left the cooler in the car in the sun just to test it out and see how well it would do while we were out on the dunes for the afternoon. At our hotel, this was about 7 hours after we initially packed the ice and food into the bag. You'll see what happens here. The ice was still a solid brick. 7 hours later, all of our food that we had left in the cooler all day in the sun was ice cold. Some of the best features that we feel exemplify the awesomeness of this cooler are the fact that the seams are super welded, so they're really tight, and the polar layer is really strong. I mean, we were really impressed that that brick of ice had not dripped at all, and waterproof. We did have something spill in there, and it was easy to wipe out. A little bit of yogurt had kind of busted open, and so we were able to wipe that out pretty quick, and we just let it open, and by morning it was completely dry inside. We were able to roll it down and pack it up for heading home. We're really happy with the performance of the IceMule Pro Cooler. We would recommend it to anybody, especially families that are trying to get out, especially those moms and dads that feel the need to hold hands with their kid but still want to take a cold lunch with them on a hot day, or even just some pop or beer or something like that to the beach. This cooler will do the job for you. You can throw it right on your back. You don't have to worry about who's lugging it the half mile, quarter mile into your hike. It's a piece of cake to use. It's flawless. We're really excited to be using it.